I'll take another if you don't mind. What? You say what, Noble?
Believe in class.
I know, right? You believe I believe all tech with the background and stuff.
How you get that background? Alonzo made that deal, and he pitched it to us, and I say, yeah, I ain't got that. That's the only one I ain't got. I'm pretty sure you finished it. I could probably finish it.
I know we told everybody we are gonna be at 10:30. I put it in the text stream.
Well, you said it after class too, so.
I know. Man, like I say, man, this is we opening the doors to our adapt class. If any more is joining us on YouTube, if you like the teachings, just like if you came to my temple, if you was a part of a church, I'm sure you would give a contribution of your choice. So it's Cash App $ KGB. I don't care how much or how small it is. If you like the teachings, because I do have my narrator on here, and she just been blocking people, and it's no disrespect. And she asks everybody, she jump in their inbox and be like, "Hey, do you like the teachings?" Yes. If the sheik say anything great to you, yes. Well, why don't we like to give a small donation? And then it'd be crickets. And I say the same way if you come to the temple, you will give a donation. So that's how we do things. Islam? So if you do have it on your heart, and you a guest, like I said, if we're feeding you, it's nothing wrong with giving a charitable contribution to Cash App $ KGB, and share the teachings with your family. Because $5 or $10 to hear a good teachings in science is a small financial obligation. Small. So with that being said, let's do our Moorish American prayer, nobles, and let's jump into the teachings. Anyone? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my God, and my salvation, by night and by day. He was Holy Prophet, Ju Ali, Shalom Aleichem, Ayah Sha'ayah, Islam, what's up? Peace, 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 peace.
Peace, 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 Noble Solomon. You say what, Noble? Absolutely, I can see it.
Is it perfect?
Perfect.
Cool.
Perfect. And like I say, more is what we should be doing as true light seekers and students. We need to be sharing this, but we won't get caught up in spookism. And I don't care how old or young a person is. We don't deal with spookism or with man-made religion or dogma. So if you are a Moor and you're here, you should learn. What you say, Islam, I've been away because I haven't been able to give the way my heart is set up. Noble, that's okay. I tell everybody, I don't care how much or how little you give. See, I'm the type of man, it ain't just about $1 with me. No, but you can give $5 And that's just as good as $500 and your heart is pure. You can show up every damn time. That's what I tell people. It ain't about the dollar. It's about giving, no matter how much or how little it is. It's about giving something. It ain't about all that. It's about, well, hey. It's about, hey, man. We say what, Malik?
I need to add to what you're saying.
Go ahead.
We gotta stop adding with our feelings. We should add with our hearts.
Thank you.
Lead with your heart.
Thank you.
All don't speak the answers. Lead with your heart.
Thank you. That's all I tell people. And I get that all day. They say, well, I haven't been given this. I said, no, but that ain't got nothing to do with that. Because we'd go to the club. We'd go buy that smoke from the dispensary. We'd go buy them ugly Balenciagas. We'll do all these things. But as Moors, as nobles from love, that's the first thing we'll do. And I ask, are you getting fed? Yes. Well, if I go to a place and they ask for a donation for them to feed me, I'm not going to keep coming back. Because to me, that's an excuse as an adult. If you smoke cigarettes, you're going to go get them. See, I've been telling people, you got to have the analogy, and me and my sister was talking about this the other day. You got to have the analogy of a motherfucking crackhead. Because a crackhead ain't got a goddamn slug. How the hell they high every fucking day? You got to tell me how a crackhead ain't got no job, no nothing. They sleeping in the streets. They higher than a kite every day.
Every day.
They want that shit that bad. They go find a way. But see, what do? Make excuses, make excuses, make excuses. I said, we don't want this. We don't want this as bad. That like a crackhead wants some fucking crack. I bet you we don't. I bet you we don't. What the first thing we're gonna do is make excuse. You can check a person, go on their page. They got all type of shit. I thought you ain't got nothing. You got this, you got this, you got this. Niggas got drinks, all that shit. I'm talking about Moors. So it ain't no excuse of how much or how little. We talk about the analogy of a mustard seed. Damn it, if I got $10 and I like to teach and that's all I got is 10, man, I'm keeping 5 to feed my family. 5 I'm giving to the temple. I'm gonna go get me some bread, some beans or something. I'm gonna make me a motherfucking stew. The hell you mean? This part of your life, you supposed to be giving something. That's the problem we have. See, I tell y'all, we were just talking about it today, excuses. That's a cliche. Excuses is cliche, especially for an adult. The first thing we'll say, well, we can't do. And then I said, if we can't do nothing, then we should be in a fucking poorhouse. And when I start talking like that, people get mad. I say, no, man, I come with passion. Man, my whole life is charity. I'll never say what I didn't have. Even when I wasn't elevated financially with things, electric, I still gave. My empress, even when I was in ministry and things, I still gave. I don't give a damn if I had $100. I'm breaking a part of that shit off. Every time I'm breaking the part off. And then 9 times out of 10, I'm breaking fucking half because I'm electric, because I'm always working. I'm always doing something with my fucking hands. I'm always selling some shit, making money every goddamn day. So I always gave something. I still give to this day as a sheik, as a guide, as a prophet, as a messiah, as a map. I still give continuously because my life is charitable. My life is charity. So how can I expect something from my brothers and I don't do? And I don't do gifts and I don't do for my brothers. Can none of my brothers say we don't give gifts?
Not at all.
Can none of my brothers that's rock with me say I don't give gifts? I told you once my cup flow is over, you think I ain't gonna spread that shit out with my brothers? Oh, she got $50 million. Oh, you think I just got 50 million? No, nigga, we got 50 million. Excuse my candor. We family. I mean this shit. This ain't no joke with me, man. I don't ask people for a lot when I teach. That's why I tell all my nobles, you should be okay with inviting people, sponsor their asses. Oh, say, hey, you ain't got $20? Man, me and my nobles, we'll put 5 together, come to class. That shit ain't nothing. We talk about grown men. Jump on these Negroes IG, y'all, and see these clowns living their best life. They'll jump on your shit, talk about what they grown ass don't have. Real shit. Excuse my candor. I'm coming real today, man. Jump on these people Instagram and all this shit and see. The first thing a nigga tell you they ain't got nothing. Excuse my candor, because I'm talking just like how they talk. The first thing they say what they don't got, you jump on these goofy nigga pages, they got everything. Nigga got weed in his mouth. Grr, all this goofy shit. So mix me with that dumb shit. Get their ass up, go to work every day. Come on, man. Don't jump on this internet and try to get all stupid with it, man. If the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. Y'all know, man. Ask your big mama. I bet you if your grandma was a part of the church, she didn't have a problem giving to what she believe in. She didn't have a problem giving to nothing she believe in. We always come up with this dumbass shit today. And with this goofy shit, oh, this, nothing. Man, you so fucking smart. Why you don't have nothing? I'll wait. And this is where I'm coming from. People jump on my Instagram and have a problem with me asking for a small donation. I'm a teacher. I get paid to do this shit in real life. I come on this Smug Nobles ask for small donations, $5. $5 ain't shit. You can't even get a pack of Black and Mild for $5, can you, Solomon?
No, sir.
Okay. You can't even get a pack of Black and Milds for $5. I'm feeding you. I'm giving you goddamn pre-food, all the food, pre-workout, all that, dessert, hors d'oeuvres, everything, all that shit. And come on, it's no problem. This is what we should do. This how we get a body. This how we get a unit. Especially when I talk about tax codes, man. There's a lot that come with this unit. The religious laws trump all. We got to understand this, or we love Uncle Sam so much. Because every one of these Negroes will sit up here and lie to y'all. They'll sit up here and lie to y'all, talk about they don't pay tax. Them niggas pay taxes. I'll show you every one, and most of them don't use they pay. They doing their taxes. That's why they doing all this fraud stuff, trying to get pennies back. I show y'all how to do this shit. What is state? What is local? Your church. Period. I teach this. At the end of the year, what these smart Moors do, they want a tax return. I know the game. Islam? So if anybody on my page on YouTube and Instagram, I have no problem with you being here learning from us. I have no problem, but you're not going to keep acting like no stray ass dog coming here and then be like, who you talking about? I'm talking about you if you done been here 30, 40, 50 fucking times and don't want to donate $5 to the teachings. Real talk, man. Because that shit is selfish as hell. We'll go to church. We'll send our kids to Easter Sunday church with our family and give all the kids $5. You send all your motherfucking kids, excuse my Canada, Easter Sunday with your girl. Say, give all the baby $5. Give all the grandbaby $5. You got 10 kids, you give them all $5. And you jump on my page and won't give a sheep $5 for teaching. I ain't acting for a lot. And if I am, you shouldn't be here. You can't go to church and just pop up in church. Oh, people will give a donation to the church way faster than they give a donation to the temple, to the teaching from a sheik online. You will give $5 to the church, they'd start up and do the offering. You will give $5 at least. You can't tell me. If your cousin says, cuz, we can ready to go to church and they beg you to go, I bet you're going to go up there and give a donation. Ain't you, Solomon? Ain't you, Solomon? You damn right. Because I will too. I'm not going to be in nobody's house and get hit in the word, no matter if I'm a guest or not, and not going to do what they do in Rome per se. I'm going to go give something, and it ain't going to be no punk ass $5. That's all I'm telling you what me, I ain't going to go in my pocket and pull out no $5. If I'm a guest, I'm giving at least 50. That's me. That's me.
Man, it didn't take me no 2 years to follow you. I followed you January of 2019.
Yeah.
And then we had school started in February. I've been committed ever since. So it don't take no 2 years for somebody to follow you to understand that the science is real and that the teachings is real. This is what it is.
Malik Negro's been following me for 7, 8, 9, 10 years.
I know.
A nigga will be like, oh man, I ain't got this, man. I ain't my money. I can't do no donation. Jump on these grown men page. They out there living their best life. They doing all this partying. And I say, but you on my page every week. You on my page every single week. And it ain't worth $5?
No, well, it's just basically, it's accountability. It's been across the board. I mean, it's anything that you acquire or that you're dedicated to that you have to be accountable to. Brothers are afraid of accountability. And we gotta get out of it. We gotta get out of there, man.
No, but how we gonna build? How we gonna build? How we gonna do universal? How we gonna have a infrastructure? Forget all these goofy Negroes on Instagram talking all this shit, y'all, about this. Now, no, infrastructure, teaching the kids, dealing with commerce, understanding the tax laws. Everybody giving their money to Uncle Sam at the end of the year. Everybody, every working man right now, if you ain't donating to the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple, the school, or your charitable contribution of your choice, you are giving your money to Uncle Sam. I don't care what you say. Ask your tax preparer that you can give to your charitable and religious contribution of your choice. And if you're in California, you can give at least 60%. So you should be doing at least that every year on your taxes and giving weekly or each month for dollar. This is too simple. 10,000 more is giving $40, man, is what? 4.8 million a year. Come on, man. That's pennies to what these other organizations doing. So let's get into the teaching, Noble. I apologize. I just had to come from the heart, man. We're gonna give a little we're gonna jump around a little bit of this. And then if nobles want to get into that film that I sent y'all, we can, or if not, we'll be done. But if you like the teachings, man, it's Cash App $KGB. I don't give a damn if you got $1, 50 cents, whatever you want to give from the heart. I'm cool with it. Because why? I give gratitude. Why? Because if somebody will give something out their pocket to me, I take that to the heart. I take that to the heart. I keep telling you, $1, if it's from the heart, it can be worth millions to a person that's worth millions. Y'all don't understand this shit? The return on an investment is way more valuable than what you inputting. You got to understand this when I talk about the divine comes first. If not, we wasting our time. So let's deal with it, man. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. So I'm going to, this is just a little synopsis of this book. And in this science, I did this on a college university. I told y'all I read every book. I just don't hold up books. You would say, oh shit, you saying those contributions legally count as tax payments? Yeah. See, y'all, I told you how Moors don't even know this shit. I'm on YouTube. Yeah. Nobody has told. And Alonzo, yeah. Just like I told y'all, the churches is taxes in for the federal government. The church, I keep telling y'all, the church, the pastor, not the building, the people. My nobles is taxes in for the federal government. That's what I tell people. Legally, lawfully, you get to make regular purchases, no taxes. And collectively, I'm going to show you when we make big purchases for the temple and school, no taxes, legally and lawfully. This is the law. That's why I be laughing at these Moors. I be like, that's why they poor and broke. And I teach this. I'm a scholar, the teacher, and a master student. I teach this shit on university levels. So I say this with a bullhorn in front of anybody. That's why everybody else winning. That's why the Jewish church is winning. That's why all organizations winning. Because people say, man, I don't love Uncle Sam that much. They're going to give those money that they owe Uncle Sam, that big chunk, especially if you're in California, that big 60% to their religious contribution of your choice. That's a fact. Islam? That's a fact. The religious laws trump everything. They don't know it. I don't know why I keep telling people, but they lost because they rode Moors. You got to be part of a real tribe, real records. So by the guidance of Allah, we have compiled the notes of Sheikh Abdul Hakim Quick's class, The Deeper Roots, History of Islam in the Americas. This was held in February 16th and 18th in 2018. I told you I'm gonna start pulling out all shit. I don't care about nobody just quoting the book. We're gonna divulge in it a little bit. And so any good you attain from these notes and this research that was done, they are from Allah. And any mistake made from ourselves. And we kindly ask you to keep your work diligent and keep your notes in your doers. So let's go up some more. Let's go up because I'm gonna be jumping around. So page up, yeah. Go ahead, go to the next page. Because I wanna jump around and go ahead, get to the next, and I want to stay too far. I'm gonna go around. Yep, go ahead. Yep, right here. Yep. So y'all see the surah or ayat 2 and 3, 65, 2 and 3. And whoever fears Allah, he will make for him a way out, and he will provide for him where he does not expect. And whoever relies upon Allah, then he is sufficient for him. Indeed, Allah will accomplish his purpose. Allah has already made a limit for all things. And there is a purpose for everything happening in this world. Nothing is osmosis. Nothing happens osmosisly. My noble said everybody should have gave a donation. My homie like, I'm gonna be the moderator on this shit. You crazy. I got my people on Flint on my other thing too. But there is also a limit to exploitation and oppression. And we live in strange times of deceit. Technology allows us to learn more. However, it simultaneously confuses us more. You say what, Noble?
I'm just laughing at that. Technology seems to confuse us more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it could be helping us, right?
Come on. Remember, it's always what you use it for. It's always when I use the analogy of a straight razor. A straight razor is good when an adult have it. You can cut your beard, line it up, but you ain't gonna give it to your baby boy, are you? He ain't ready for it. Abu Hurari reported, the messenger of Allah, Salu Ali was Salam or Salim. He said, years of treachery will overcome will come over people in which liars are believed and the truth are denied. Just like the Bible says, woe to you lying lawyers. Just like the Book of Mormon talk about the New Jerusalem and God's people being resurrected. I'm telling y'all, I know more than don't study. That's why I tell y'all, all Europeans agree with me. This scholarship, this ain't no religious dogma or no hate speech. Man, I'm telling you, the Book of Mormon tell you about the New Jerusalem. It tells you about it. Because why? The Book of Mormon is based off the view of Hebrews. It's plagiarized, damn near word for word. These is keys. These is keys. But when we deliver speeches, and it was said, who are the al-Rukuba? The prophet said, corrupt men with authority over the common people. And it has come to pass with our hearts, Muslim and non-Muslims. The Muslim world is in chaos. And there has been injustice since the beginning of Islam. After the Prophet Muhammad had passed away, the fitna spread among the Muslims. Then there was the period of colonism. And thereafter, neo-colonism, where their own rulers were worse than the foreign powers that had ruled over them. Let's go to the next page, Noble. And this brings the question, can the fallen Muslim nation rise? So you got movies and fictional things that put false constructs on these things. And they push us to look to false superheroes and allowing us to be distracted from the true heroes and the real struggles within us. We talk about in World War II, the Germans, Italians, Japanese formed an axis of power and fought the Europeans, the Americans, and Russians. And by the end of the war in 1945, the Americans unleashed the atomic bomb for the first time ever on the Japanese. And over 100,000 people were instantly killed in Hiroshima. And then the Americans bombed Nagasaki. And the country was devastated and ruined. But by the 1960s, Nobles, remember, watch this. Japan was able to make a comeback as what? The world's leader in what? Economy power. Am I lying to y'all?
Nope.
Okay. Okay. So although Germany had bombed out of existence as well, the Germans rebuilt and made a comeback as a world power, didn't they?
Yep.
Okay, let's keep going. We talk about history, man. See, we playing. We don't understand how mighty we are once you get around the right leadership and the right map and guide, and we put them pennies together and they make dollars. Somebody got to be a Buddha. Somebody got to be able to spread this shit. We got to stop following characters. What's these nations have?
World War I and World War II.
Yeah. You say what, Noble?
Germany, World War I, and then the bomb on Hiroshima is World War II.
Yes. But what these nations have that all allowed them to rise again. And if they could rise, it's possible for this Muslim nation today to rise as well. I'm telling you, because man, I'm not going to get off the topic, but when they be talking about that Arabs and all this stuff, no disrespect, I did a whole lecture on who the true Arab. I did a whole lecture on that. So we ain't even going to go there with that crap. You know?
Yeah.
So potential of the Muslim world. Muslims make up over 26% of the world's population. Africa makes up majority of that 20%. So we talk about this Muslim nation and resources. Why you think they so-called call it the Middle East? Why you think those so-called mothers that got these sons now that's ruling in the so-called Middle East with all this oil and all this richness? I'm trying to tell you what I know. I'm trying to tell you even the so-called poor countries of the continent is rich because what they got there, I think it's called coltan, the shit that they make phones with. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So it's always rich in natural resources. The conflicts in the Muslim world are related to the natural resources. This is a key. I know how I know, because I know political officials in these other countries that say, hey, Sheikh, man, you in history. I know. It's a higher Islam that I'm speaking of. I promise you this.
You and the Hebrews.
Come on, man. West Africa in the Sahara. Underneath the Sahara Desert lies the largest uranium deposit known to the world, which the Takri or the Takra people protect. And when the French people found the Takra or the Takri people struggling and vulnerable, they sent in forces to bring peace to the land. However, their main motivation had been the uranium, as the nuclear system is relying on it. Somalia has the largest coastline. You say what, Noble?
Black Panther.
Come on, Noble. You know I'm Dean. Somalia has the largest coastline on the continent and is abundant in mineral and coal deposits, along with a huge oil deposit. For all my so-called political science, they love, man, I'll be like, man, you ain't elite. strategic positions, huge standing armies. Let's go. Let's pass. Let's go to the next page because we're going to jump around. We're going to get to a good part. Intellectuals and education. Many of the richest people on the earth. History and power and respect. Islam is the fastest growing religion on the earth. In the Arctic Circle, there are people of the native population, the Inuits and the Nunavutts, the Eskimos embracing Islam. A masjid by the name of Mosque of the Midnight Sun, is being established. Come on, Noble. You know it. Yes. And it's being established, and the Quran is being translated in Tukak, in that language. Real talk. So we're gonna jump down a little bit to Ayah 11, 13, and 11. Go back, Noble. It was the bottom. Thank you, Noble. Indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. Come on. Ooh, I like that. I see you know we're getting all scholastic in here, up in here. I see you.
This is very important.
Yep. Cash App $ KGB. Yep. If no nobles like the teaching, I don't care if you got $5, you should have been done donated. If not, you will be blocked. But the masjid and communities are disconnected mentally, if not physically. So how can Muslims bring about change in here in the West today? Let's go to the next page, Noble. 10 crucial aspects of Islamic revival in the West. See, only adapts know this. Like I tell, man, this ain't no play. All scholars agree with me. All lower level European Masons agree with me. Because when they come to their little lower level, 32 and 33 degrees, which is nothing but in meteorology when water freezes, they become studying Islam. It's just a fact. And the last thing notes, the first thing you being taught in this wisdom. I'm trying to tell you, all that mystery stuff is all garbage. But 10 crucial aspects of Islamic revival in the West, based on 30 plus years of Sheikh Abdul Hakim's quick experience. So when I talk about the consciousness of Allah, the increase in the taqwa, Surround yourself with people who remind you of Allah. I say this all day. Ain't no way in hell no man got this damn fez on his head and you don't have discernment and you around people that don't remind you of Allah. I ain't saying what you said that you're going to trade hours for dollars. That's your job. But I say surround yourself, your surroundings. What's your surroundings? Because crackheads be with crackheads. Understand the analogy what I'm saying. Understand the analogy what I'm saying. I'm coming from an analogy. I hope people stand with me. Islam?
Islam.
Okay.
Mine.
Come on, Noble.
Like attract like.
Yes. That's why the taqwa drives Muslims. The more you have, the stronger you will be. Do good deeds secretly as you do publicly, and it will increase you in the taqwa. Observe how you pray. Make your prayer alone better than your prayer in public. Separate Islam from culture. I can show you all this synchronicity about this Islam. All this is a synchronicity. It's the triple roll of the Adap chamber. These brothers being biased because they not studying Tasawwuf. They're not studying Sufism. They trying to prove something wrong, and you can't prove nothing wrong with light because light gives light to understand it. Get your ass burnt the hell up, crispy looking, toast looking one. Excuse my candor. But separate Islam from culture. Islam was related to culture. If Islam was related to culture, then nobles, you will have over 100 different religions. And Islam is what unites us because Islam is peace. This is the key. So don't base your deen. Don't base your deen on your language or your ethnic group. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you.
Islam means peace. You would have a whole different understanding.
Come on, noble. We illuminating it. Ayah 13, 49 and 13. Indeed, the most noble of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous of you. So now we get into the emphasis on Islamic character. That's why I know these Moors ain't studying nothing. They out here being freaking criminals. Akhlaq, aim on wisdom and balance. Make dua for Allah to grant you hikmah, which is wisdom. Hikmah means putting things in the proper places. Wisdom is an important element of success. Wisdom does not have to do with book knowledge. Like I tell, I don't give a damn how many books you got in your backpack. If you a bum, shit, nigga, you might as well, you need to eat them books. I don't care about nobody having no pissing contest. I tell people this shit all day. If the books were so smart, okay, go read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Let me see everybody that read that book. Let's see if you a millionaire. Man, fuck them books. Excuse my candor. Real talk. That's like a lucky rabbit's foot. Man, kick that rabbit foot in the ass. You the magic. I'm giving you ancient wisdom. Yes.
When these families be having these arranged marriages, right? As when you're a child and going to adolescence and teenage years and becoming an adult, who knows you the best? You or your parents? And then they wonder why you have arranged marriages. Because you're still learning yourself.
Well said, Noble.
But go ahead.
See? That character, that wisdom does not have to do with book knowledge. I know a lot of niggas in prison right now can quote every book. They get out and they the most craziest niggas in the world. Excuse my candor. They'll call you that all day. They don't use the right words. I'm using the words that brothers be doing all day. I said, man, you being lied. Who cares about what you know in the book? How many books you read? You just got time. That means you got a whole bunch of time. You ain't have no balance. And if you a scholar, go do scholarship. We don't beg. Create the science. But wisdom is how you implement your Islam. Wisdom is how you implement your Islam. Wisdom is how you implement your Islam. Because you got broke people and you got people that's successful in life and in understanding. Wisdom gives us the right balance. What's killing our communities is what? Extremism. That's why I don't curse a rich man for being rich, and I damn sure don't bless a poor man for being fucking poor. It's the reason why both of them in that same condition. I need to understand the condition before I can start blessing or fucking cursing.
That's understanding people's heart.
Come on. We are Ummatun, Wasada, Surah Bakara, Ayah 143. We are a balanced nation. The messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, said, turn the page, Noble. Turn up and do it. And slide to your lip. The clemency is from Allah and haste is from Shaitan. Now we talk about the healthy empowerment and families. This is what we should be doing in building. Stability is what has kept this Muslim world afloat for centuries. The stability gives us a positive outlook. That's why that divorce is on the rise in these Western countries and is amongst us. And those who are embracing Islam among the First Nations, the so-called African Americans and the so-called Latinos, have been faced with organized destruction of families. I'm telling you, we have tried. That's the great Mexico. Man, we supposed to be teaching this to our brothers. Nobles, don't heat purify metal.
Yep.
So we as the Ummah are being purified. Tamheez, purification by heat. Purification by heat. So when families are strong, the whole community is strong. And when families are weak, the whole community is weak.
Yeah.
And Abu Burra narrated that his father said, the prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, sent Muda, Ibn, Jabal, and Abu Musa al-Ashira to Yemen, telling them, treat people with ease and do not hard on them. Give glad tidings and do not fill them with aversion, and love on each other and do not differ. Communicate with your spouses, parents, kids. We are strong when we come together. Healthy, eat halal and wholesome foods. Empowerment, gain education, skills, ability to provide for oneself. Empowerment, knowing our history, which we teaching right here. Mutual constellation in all affairs. That's why one thing I like about Noble Malik, he always say, man, we got to talk about this. We should be discussing. We should be talking. We got to figure it out. Oh, so they good to have Silicon Valley and have all those brainstorm meetings, but we ain't gonna come to a round table and put all these pennies and put all this knowledge together and create our own infrastructure. Oh, they got Black Lives Matter. They got Black business this, but we got Moors doing business and all Moors ain't frequent in our businesses. That's crazy to me. More should be all on MoorisHaberdasher.com, my PDF books, getting something.
We're doing something collectively.
Coming into school, coming together, trying to figure it out. Because we can take this farther. We a nation, no matter where we are. We talk about international. In families, husband and wives need to communicate. Parents and children need to communicate. That's why from the prophet's life, despite being a prophet, Prophet Muhammad consulted the Muslims community during the time of the battles and war. Prophet Muhammad could have waited for Jibril to bring directions to Allah, but instead he called the Muslims, turn the page, to do a certain task. Next page, Noble. To do what? Discuss. To do what? Bring it to the round table. And during the battle of Kandik, Salam al-Farsi provided the idea of building a trench. It's in your surah, ayah 11, 111, 2 and 11, say, bring your proof if you indeed are truthful. So we talk about the corporation and unity. I don't want to stay in that, so let's get to part one. We can stay, let's get to part one, and man, then we might get a little bit of part two, and we'll be done. Because I don't want to stay in all that, because it's deep. That's why I tell people they need to come to class and learn. All right, so we're going to start right here. Eurocentric thinking has a profound impact on our perception of ourselves and humanity since the 21st century. Europe is always depicted as up or north and civilized as developing. So when I show y'all the ground plans for Louisiana Purchase, I guarantee you what you're looking at, you like, damn, why the south up top and north up bottom? Yeah. Why Jerusalem and all this Egypt right by each other, walking distance like an hour? Yeah, I'll show you this. But Greenwich mean time is universally accepted as the base of all time zones. And based on a different vantage point in the cosmos, Cape Town could be the top of the northern hemisphere, and Timbuktu could be the basis of time. Muslims and non-European people need to construct history, aka history, and relate events from their own perspective. Eurocentrism is ingrained in our thoughts and the ways in which we perceive the world. Greenwich Mean Time, Middle East, Far East, Global North, South, these are all in reference to Europe. When Sheikh Abdul Hakim Quick was in Cape Town, he noticed that the sky was above him and the earth was below him. It was at top. The way as the map is drawn is very Eurocentric. Just like the European lady, what's her name, Jane Elliott, and she's showing you that map is all false, which I did in college all day, but we always got to have somebody tell us something outside of ourselves, who we are. I'll be like, man, please, I don't need nobody that don't look like me to tell me this shit. This shit ain't all amazing. We've been doing this shit ever since we was kids. My mama taught me this shit. What the hell are we talking about? There are examples of maps. You say what, Noble?
No, I'm saying that as navigators, that's the perfect way to get us up off where.
Yeah. Yep. That MacArthur, all that shit, fake. They show you in school, fake. There are examples of maps drawn by Muslims depicting Europe on the bottom. Even the size of Africa was distorted on the maps. In case of the maps of Gerhard Mercator, the 16th century European cartographer. Remember, I always talk about cartographers, and then I showed y'all back in the day cartographers, and I always check the Lion Negro and the European, because I always, no disrespect, because the Negro will lie to you. No disrespect. A Mason will lie to you.
No.
Yes.
Islam. That's just like the craft and the cunning craft and the documents, symboliography.
Yep.
They do the same thing with documents, like they do with maps. They correct them, institute them, engineer them to be something that they were not.
Yep.
Yeah,
Islam.
So that you stay lost.
Yep. Africa is larger than India and China put together and capable of absorbing many times over the acreage of all the colonial powers that have ravished its land over the centuries. And based on the European map, You say what?
What you just read, that part you just read, Africa is larger than India and China put together.
Yep.
And when I was in school, anybody who went to school in the 80s, they always told you, even though the map showed different, that Africa was the largest continent.
Yep.
Period.
Yep. 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 And based on the European map, we would think that the Nile River flows from the north to the south, but the Nile flows from the south to the north. The mountains are in the south. In 3200 BC, when Menes united the two Egyptian kingdoms, he came from the south and united them with the north. By 3000 BC, they had started building pyramids. Do your research. 2460 BC, the Great Pyramid of Giza. The building, 4,500 years old, is still standing today. The people who built it were the black people of Nubia, the old kingdom. The old kingdom of Egypt consisted of Nubians, African people who came from the Nubia region, aka Uganda, Kenya, Ethiopia. The Israelites came later. Egyptian culture and philosophy were established far before the Israelites came to Egypt. The Israelites did not build the pyramid. They were built long before the Israelites. And the ancient writing documents, the people who built the pyramids were the Egyptians, who were dark-skinned people with woolly hair. Yep, it's Cash App $ KGB. My noble like Cash App $ KGB, or you don't have to be here. That's what my noble said. Islam to that. Everybody's feeling the same way. It's like, man, because everybody's donating. So when a person say, hey, if you coming in and you come to class, if you came to the temple, you would give. The pyramids were made with perfect right triangles and physics, and yet the Greeks were given credit for being the backbone of modern mathematics and philosophy, starting civilization. How can some Greek or somebody that say they grew up with some fucking dinosaurs, excuse my candor again, grew up in some caves, gonna say that they did something? Yeah, the Israelite, I just taught this yesterday in class. That's why I'm on YouTube, said Israelite are the Egyptians when dogma removed. I just taught this in class. I just taught this in the class the other day. I teach this about the Ishmaelite. We teach this. We teach this. We synchronize all this together. We synchronize. That's why I say if people follow, no disrespect to the person that's saying that, but we synchronize this with history, with peer-reviewed scholarly research.
So one of my daughters is on here. She's like my daughter's best friend, but she's my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
But she said, correct. Same for me in the 90s and 2000s. She's saying that they taught you that Africa was the biggest continent.
Yep. And Noble said, don't know you, just popped on my YouTube. Islam. Oh, and that's great. And that's what I tell people when they pop on, be studious when we do things. Just like if somebody invited you to a lecture, I would sit down and I would listen. I would not be quick to open my mouth. If I'm new to something, I would sit down and be a student. I'm a teacher and I'm a professor. If you came to my lecture and you say you knew and a person started blabbing off at the mouth, everybody gonna turn around, look at you, be like, bro, you just came. Like relax. Like they'll be like, relax. Like he done talked about that. The people next to you be like, well, he's illuminated that already. Like, why are we going there? Stay and be studious. That's why I say it's a way to learn. I'm not here to have no pissing contest. That's what I tell people. If a person new to something, they say they just logged on or they new to my channel, well, we should sit down and listen. And then I would do some research. I would start doing some research. And if it's my first time, I would sit back and be a student. Islam? Islam.
Wow.
As I proceed, but the pyramids were made with all those mathematical equations, you know? What do you say? It's lie chat, not my lie teachings. I don't know what he's saying about your lie. I don't know what he say. I don't know what people be saying, man. But anyway, the first thing you have to colonize is the mind to subjugate a people. And if you are going to think small, you are going to act small, nobles. Oh, hold on. I'm on our temple. Oh, I wasn't even looking on our temple and school page. Go ahead, noble. You say what?
The first act of colonizing is colonizing the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Think small, then you move small.
Islam.
And that's how
Mm-hmm.
Islam.
Oh, I think, and somebody said, did the noble say it was only 3 people on YouTube? Somebody said, I don't give a damn if it's 2 people on there, 1 person. If I went to a place and I'm getting fed, I don't give a shit if I'm the only one. That's what I don't know if that's what the person's saying. I don't give a shit if it's 1 person. That means I'm there and I'm gonna do what I can do and I'm gone. I don't need to be in a place with a whole bunch of people to get what I need. That's what people don't understand. They think it got to be 1 million people, like this some fucking concert. Or no, that's the problem. Because the prophet Jesus, so-called, only had 12 disciples. That's what I'll be telling us. I don't need no crowd. I do this in scholarship. I come back on here and teach my brothers and sisters.
And they fulfill the Zodiac law.
Come on. Yes.
Well, man. Islam, no?
And he said, my point is I jumped in thinking this is a conversation, not a teaching. Islam, man. But a lot of times as I say, as a no disrespect, with love to you, Noble, which much love, a lot of times, and then he said, stop being defensive. And see, that's the problem with us. That's the problem with people. I'm getting ready to get his brother science, and I'm explaining myself. That's the problem with us. We always saying, you don't know me. That's the thing with us. Don't come in here and try to look at the toothpick in my eye, and you may have a log in yours, and you on my page, and you said you just jumped on here. Like I said, I would explain that it's the teaching. That's what I'm trying to explain. We got to get into the habit of talking to each other instead of assuming. So I'm talking to you. I'm explaining. Ain't nobody fucking hostile. That's what I be telling people. I'm explaining to you what this is. So if you came somewhere, I would explain. What if you came to a place and it's a whole bunch of killers on here, and we dressed up like this, and we done got you because you jumped on here, and you guilty by jumping on a person's page. So that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to explain to her, brother. Ain't nobody being hostile. I'm a grown man. You said you don't know me, I don't know you. But that's the first thing grown men start doing. That's the first thing we start doing. Is that what this brother just did? And that's craziness.
Yep.
That's craziness.
You know what, though? To that point, no, but we better to do this because our local city meeting place. There's nowhere, not it's the place that you're on.
Let me get this goofy dude off here, man.
Meeting place where we can sit at the people's house, where we can discuss things, converse, because everything, this climate is new. He's like, oh, we're gonna keep dealing with the foolishness. Come on, we gotta get it together, man. But while we here,
yep.
While we here, Islam.
And I just blocked that person. And I'm like, dude, nobody got time for that. Brother said he just jumped on here, don't know me. And then the first thing we started doing is somebody being hostile. Ain't nobody being hostile. I'm explaining to you. I'm telling to you, I'm making this shit clear.
First cut. Man, you jumped on, you can quickly jump on if you don't like what you hear.
And this is what I be saying with us, man. This is exactly what I be saying with us, Nobles, why we private on Zoom. Because that's what Negroes do. They be distractions. Then you jump on these people's page, you put Big Brother on them. That sound like you be like, this clown done jumped on your page playing. And then they mamas and shit be wanting to hit you up like, I'm sorry, sir, because these men just be on here playing. Ain't nobody playing.
Let's not spend time on his interview. So
let's finish, Nobles. The first thing you have to do is colonize the mind and subjugate a people. If you're going to think small, you're going to act small. And we must consistently construct history. To be careful, to be truthful. Europe should be the third world. China, Mesopotamia, India were well civilized before Europe. For years, students have been told that Christopher Columbus discovered America in 1492. And in reality, when I talk about the War of Ferdinand and Isabella, that's right in the library on your shelves in all schools. But in reality, he was lost and thought he was in India. When he returned to Spain, he could not properly describe where he had been. This is facts. For somewhere between 10 to 30,000 years, human beings have populated the Americas and succeeded in developing highly sophisticated societies. In deconstructing the Columbus myth, historians should be honest and say Columbus was discovered in 1492. Like Stevie Wonder said, in 1492, you fell upon our shores, 700 years, educated by the Moors. Come on, man. The indigenous people rebelled against the idea of Columbus coming in his tiny boat. The Aztecs and the Incas had the largest cities in the world at the time of Columbus. Somebody said something?
He says his tiny boat.
Yeah, little tugboat.
That's all we had back then.
Yeah, and there were people living in the Americas. Man, I can start showing you things with mummies, man, and things, and you be like, how they got this stuff in their blood and cocaine and all this stuff if it wasn't indigenous to the land? And then I start showing you, man, they've been on boats traveling back and forth for years. It's certain animals that ain't indigenous to the land, they put on boats and brought them back and forth doing the bartering and trade historically in personal monuments. They know this shit, man. They know this. Like the tiger you see and the lion you be seeing in them damn in the circus, that ain't no goddamn king of the jungle lion. That's a little punk ass Persian lion. That ain't no goddamn roar, no king of the jungle. I'll tell you that for a fact. Because you ain't finna get no king of the jungle. I guarantee you. Them probably some Persian damn motherfucking, excuse my candor, lions. I'm telling you, man. Okay. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you, man.
That's right.
Real talk. But a lot of this stuff is true. The little boats and all these things. It was people living all over. The temples found in Mexico are huge. How long had this civilization been growing and learning in order to create a structure like the temple? How much development and technology did they experience to be able to create it? Like somebody gonna make some big old mixed head that don't look like them. Or like the stuff is so crazy, man. Like they don't know how to do these things. Whitewash history. Just like in the book of Maccabees when it says the Gentile, aka the European, tried to whitewash themselves in the history books. And then I'm gonna pull out my book, Russian Icon by Vladimir Ivanov, where he's showing it in there, how they in there whitewashing the history books and the monuments. In Maccabees, they tell you, in the book of Maccabees, I forget the scripture, you can find it where it says the Gentile, aka the heathen, trying to whitewash the history books, implementing themselves in the history books. That's called whitewashing of history. But the pyramids, the temples were built with ingenuity. Until now, no building can compare to the Great Pyramid of Giza, which is built to stand without any cement holding the blocks together. Western historians tried to provide an explanation for this by saying that the buildings were built by aliens. That's what these Negroes come with, that spookism, with that Anunnaki trash. I wish Noble Barclay was here, because we were at the Greek restaurant. I went right up to the dude and said, "Who was that right there?" He looked at me and said, "Brother, you know." He's like, "You a teacher, you a professor," because he was telling me how he's from Russia. And I'm like, "Those the Iberians, ain't it?" He was like, "Yeah, the Moors." He was like, "Yeah, the Moors." He was like, "You." Real talk. And you're going to let some European and our own people talk about some Anunnaki. They getting that shit from Zachariah Sitchin, a Freemason Muslim. You pull up Zachariah Sitchin, all his goofy ass series about the Anunnaki, all pseudo. And then I started showing you pictures with him and the European that wrote "Behold the Pale Horse." It's some truth and falsehood and all that shit. D's is keys. I got the pictures from my association. I'm part of the Philosophical Research Society. I tell y'all that all day. And when a person come in here lying, I know every Freemason. I know every Prince Hall. I know everybody that's in the Greek fraternity. Why? Because you signed the charter. Your shit is housed there. That's why when people just say, "Oh, he a prince, he's some potentate, he's some master mason, and he this and that," I'll be like, "No, you mad?" Because I tell you who I am. You ain't got to assume. So in disconstructing the Columbus myth, we got to be honest. We got to be honest with all this stuff. Next page, Noble. We almost where we need to be. The Europeans had a superiority complex. Just like that fake landing on the moon. They always got to put a damn flag somewhere. Just like the Americans. How you going to discover something that was already being here? What is the America? What is American? The copper colored races found here by the Europeans. It didn't say no, the African Americans. It said the copper colored races with the freaking S. The copper colored races found here by the Europeans. So how you gonna look at a person and say they are African? I told you I'm an American. I tell you where I'm from. I know my family. I understand the science, but stay in the context. The use of the words black and white and their connotation in the West, based on the problematic dictionary definition, is a huge problem. I told y'all in first century and first history, a black wasn't used to describe ethnicity. It was used to describe in theater or in theatrics. That's why black magic is called black and white magic is called white magic. Black is used as negativity. It portrays evil, gloom, all bad things. White Christmas, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. It don't refer to snow because it was used in Trinidad where it don't even freaking snow. So what you talking about, you dreaming of a white Christmas in Trinidad? It don't snow.
or we're in Jerusalem.
Come on, man.
Or who was born? Jesus.
Come on. The dictionary definition of white is innocent, pure, holy. A white Christmas is a holy Christmas. The worst of these is the depiction of Isa as a white man, no disrespect, to project an image of an entire race. And if that was the image of the Son of God, then anyone who looks like him becomes holy. And this makes all, no disrespect again, the white men so-called holy, just like in Freemason. And can't nobody deny what I'm saying. When they 21, or the superior person. The portrait of Jesus was in fact that of uncle of Michelangelo. And then don't let me get into Caesar Borgia and Serapis Christos. We ain't even got to divulge in that. That's why Muslims need to benefit from the true lessons of those who lived in the early times. Muslims should not be Eurocentric, Afrocentric, or Indiocentric, but Makkah-centric. History needs to be our story. You say what, Noble?
I said people need to look that word up.
I hope they do. I ain't just babbling off at the mouth. Not history. And bias affects Islamophobia, what we call spookism. They call it Islamophobia, but I call it spookism. Began during the dark ages of rather the golden ages of Muslims. Spookism is not new and is shared from time to time. Of the Prophet Muhammad. The Kushah wanted to get rid of the Prophet Muhammad and his message. They would attack the message instead of killing him. And it was simply cause warfare. The same way with our own brothers be coming on here with all this stuff, accused and things. And I said, dude, your accusations is blameless. You need to leave. That be those religious brothers. That be those brothers that be Freemason and Greek fraternities, and they didn't want to come in here and cause confusion. We just let them go and continue to what you're doing. You don't have to come here. But they gathered in the Nadwa section of Makkah, and they consulted Walid bin Mughira on the best way to ruin the Prophet Muhammad. They tried to label him as others than a prophet. The same way with your own people that do here. Oh, he's a Freemason, all that. All that stuff with our own people do, these be your own people, but not other people that look like you, because a prophet and angel is no good in his own country. That's why I tell people, all those Moors that say they're in Arizona and Moors getting arrested, they lying. They not elite. That's the problem. Let's go to the next page. What time is it? Okay. But the Quran the Quran isn't poetry. This is not rhythm prose. The misnomer Arabs knew poetry, and this was not poetry. The magician, but he doesn't blow into knots and other practices of the magicians when I be saying these Negroes be court jesters. A person can be dressed up and be a court jester with no power. All those amulets, you're like, oh, he was a prophet, man. Not because he was just dressed up. That's a court jester. This fez can be a dunce hat.
Yeah.
You know? It's such a small surah, but it's continually expanding. This surah is usually known to refer only to the foundation of Qatar in Jannah. The word Qatar or Qatar is a mutwar, which is an open-ended word. The best translation of an al-Qatar is what? Abundance, because abundance is open. We want abundance. Like we talk about mucho gracias. I want abundance of blessings. I want a type of blessings. I want mine to be abundance, AKA when your cup is running over. Your cup is abundance. The Quran is abundance. The followers of Islam are in abundance and continuously growing. When we hear his salats, the very beautiful names of Allah, we pray for him. The one who assaults you will be cut off. There you go, right there. I'm telling you, I come from straight Quran. The one who assaults you will be cut off. Cut their ass off. Done. Everything I say is scripture. Cut them off. They ain't here to learn. But we will give you abundance. No one knows of Al-Asas, but everyone knows Amir Abun Al-Asas, the Ra, and his son. Come on, man. This is a beautiful thing. All this stuff is inside man. Go to the next page, Noble. We almost done. So now I'm gonna give this the introduction of part 2, and we'll stop. Because I want y'all to hear this part. The term Dark Ages is usually used to describe an era that spans some 1,000 years between 400 to 1500 AD. Undoubtedly, Europe has sunken into a state of ignorance, barbarism, and gloom, but this territory only constituted a small portion of the known world. The Dark Ages of Europe is the golden age of Islam. So when you get Ivan Man Sertima, the golden age of the Moors, on Amazon, they probably got it for $200. We got it on My PDF Books, and it's a PDF. You download it to your tablet, and if you want the book, you send it to Office Max and Staple, and they'll bind it, print it for you for a small fee. But the world of Islam, you say what, Noble?
That's the key right there that's highlighted. The Dark Ages of Europe is the golden age of Islam.
Yeah, I keep telling y'all they teach everything in reverse. Man, like I say, man, I don't come from no biasness. When I lectured at Grand Canyon, the whole Book of Mormon, I said I'm gonna make some people sad because I used the whole view of the Hebrews, and my professor was laughing because the view of the Hebrews clearly talks about what I'm talking about. The New Jerusalem.
Islam, no.
You want to say something? Go ahead, Maso.
Yeah, I was just thinking, y'all know when they do like Renaissance festivals, you know how like every state has that type of thing?
Yep.
I always wonder why no Moors ever show up and things like that when that's the time to be a Moor.
Yep. You went out, Noble.
Some of the Dark Ages.
Yeah.
He's talking about the Dark Ages. So I was like, yeah, that Renaissance time Renaissance festivals are in every state.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. All those different dispensations. I'm gonna go in my library and show you all those dispensations of time. When you talk about the Dark Ages, the medieval times, the Renaissance times, all this should be on in your libraries, in all the schools. I got them all. I told you I used to go to all the Goodwills when all those Europeans used to die. They used to call me and be like, somebody bringing all their family books. I used to go get them all and look them up on Amazon. These books, these dictionaries be hundreds to some $1,000. I got them all. I looked them all up. I got the whole catalog about exactly what you're saying about all the dispensations of time, what we're talking about here. Scholarship deals with scholarship. You can't be mad. Islam to that, Noble. Just like the Greek festival out here. When I went to the Catholic church, the Greek festival, me and my wife showed up. Boom. And I think I showed y'all those pictures. It was like when I first moved to Arizona, and I was showing the pictures of the Russian icona. Did I show y'all that?
Yeah.
In the Catholic, right in the Catholic church.
Yeah, you took a picture of it.
Yeah, but then he wouldn't let me go in the back where they got it all gold, and they got a big gold chair with a picture of the so-called Jesus with a fucking afro. In gold. In gold. All the dinner, the 12 disciples, all black afros. In gold.
And
So
what's funny is my son had his union, right? And I went out there with his father-in-law. His wife had transitioned like a year and a half ago. But on the table, he had all this, melanated art. But it was the Last Supper with all the disciples on it. And all of them was melanated. And guess what they was looking like?
who?
Us.
Yep.
With the turbans and the fezes and the Halil's on.
Yep. Yep.
All the cartooning
Yep.
and everything.
Yep. Yep.
Well,
Yep.
I'm glad to tell you.
Yep. I mean, because it's true.
And I had to break it down for him because I had my turban on. I said, oh, your wife is really trying to bring it back. I said, but we bringing it back, and I'm pointing at me and Barclay.
No, even the kente cloth is in the Bible. More don't even know it. It's on the table. I'll show you this. It's on the table in the tabernacle. Kente cloth. All the Jewish priests know what I'm talking about. Because I done lecture, they like you 100% right. I'm telling you it's just a fact. But we don't know. But as we close, Noble, the golden age of discovery and achievement between 622 and 1492 AD, the messenger of Tawhid has spread from Arabia to China in the Caspian, the Atlantic Ocean in the west, the Russian steppes in the north, and the East Africa coast in the south with 100 years. Society after society entered Islam without conclusion and remained that way for hundreds of years. This is a phenomenon unparalleled in history. So the concept of Tawhid, monotheism, and unity, when I talk about the unto thee I grant, when I talk about monotheism, when I talk about the triple rows, when I talk about Zoroastrianism, when I go all over it, people getting it twisted. But after confirming the unity of God, united humanity into one single family and concentrated and considered knowledgeable as a blessing wherever it was encountered. That's why the prophet said, anywhere that was wisdom at, I look at it as a blessing. That's how I know when nobles come on my page, they don't look at the wisdom as a blessing. They coming like they're trying to have a pissing contest. And I ain't finna have no pissing contest with nobody that should be a student. Please.
Capitalism mindset.
Please, Malik.
Yeah, that's what that is. They say there always got to be one winner.
Yeah.
We can all win.
Come on.
That's that pageantry.
Come on, Noble. Islam. But it should be a blessing wherever it was encountered. The Prophet Muhammad once said, wisdom, aka knowledge, is the lost property of the believer. He or she is most deserving of it anywhere he encounters it. Anywhere he encounters it. What you say, Morpheus Bay said, Islam definitely want to join the class. How do I go about? If any of my moots is on YouTube, they can put it on there. I don't know if they on there. But our Temple and School page is bbtsciencetemple.com. Or you can hit me up on Gmail. Goodman, KHARY @gmail.com. And we'll get the syllabus to you. One of my mooties will get with you. But all this stuff is there. And he is most deserving of this wisdom. Anywhere he encounters it. That's why I say the teachers ain't no temple. I can take these teachers like I've done in prisons, in your backyard, from state to state, from prison to prison, from hood to hood, from university to university, from different chapter to this chapter. It ain't the building, it's where the wisdom at. And Tawheed is oneness throughout race, ethnicity, gender, nationality, and the merging of secular and religious knowledge. I'm telling y'all, Muslims possess something unheard of in the 7th century. What? This mind, these open minds. We did not only stumble upon the teachings of the ancient societies as we traveled throughout the earth, but we searched for it. Within a short period of time, we were able to recover much of the earliest sources of wisdom of human civilization. And we assembled the writings of the ancient Egyptians, Indians, Syrians, Persians, Greeks, and other people. And the Muslims possessed open minds. The misnomer Arabs had an amazing grasp of knowledge. They had the knowledge of language, great etiquette, but they lacked technology. And when the message of Islam went out and they traveled out of Arabia, they met the knowledge of the ancient Egyptians, the Syrians, and others. Instead of destroying the knowledge, they assimilated it. They absorbed the technology and expanded the knowledge. And you can see logically the growth. You can see how the empire rose, grew, and developed. And I'll stop right there, Morris.
All right.
Because this is a whole long teaching of this science. It's a whole teaching. That's why I said Islam can't be based just on no culture. Because what you trying to say? Then you saying Islam is biased. Then you saying Islam is biased, and we can't. But if anybody interested, our Temple and School page is bbtsciencetemple.com. That's our Temple and School web page. bbtsciencetemple.com. That's our Temple and School web page. If you want to inquire, we have a suggestion box on there. You can go right in, leave a suggestion. But if you serious today, Morris, if anybody jump in my inbox with that crazy niggerly stuff, I'm going to block it and block it forever. You can hit me up at my email. It's Goodman, GOODMAN, Khary, KHARY, Goodman Khary @gmail.com. We do have a financial obligation for members and students, but we work with everybody. We build it and we do a lot. And we're getting ready to have our 3rd annual meet and greet in January. So gratitude for everyone being here. Gratitude for everyone that placed it on their heart to give a small donation. I give gratitude for you for doing that. You can give, and you can do anything with your finances, but I give gratitude for you at least saying, you know what, this is worth something. I don't even care if you say if it's worth 50 cents, $1, or a penny. I give gratitude to that because you can keep your penny, you can keep your dollar and do whatever the hell you want with it. So I give gratitude for that. Islam? Any questions, Nobles? Anything?
Oh, great deal, though. Most definitely.
Great deal. Y'all know tomorrow we're going to be doing our 4th of July lecture. I'm telling everybody right now, if you want to join the lecture, all you have to do is give a small. It's going to be a fire. It's going to be fire. All you have to do is give a small donation to Cash App $KG Bay. A small donation. If you want the literature that we're going over, then you can give a $20 donation to Cash App $KG Bay, and I'll get you the literature that we're going over for you can have it, for you can smell it, so you can go through it, so you can see where we're coming from, and you can see what's been hidden from you by your own people. Nobody have power over you unless you give them power. And it's going to be tomorrow at 2 p.m. at our Sunday school. We're going to be illuminating the 4th of July, the day of the Kiefer. We're going to be illuminating that tomorrow at 2 p.m. AZ time zone in Sunday school. You don't want to miss it. Anybody can join the lecture for a small $5 donation, because I'm not going to start until people at least abide by the rules. If you don't like the rules, please don't show up, because we're going to block everybody that don't abide by the rules, because nobody don't cuss out a club when you go to that janky club and they charge you $5 or $10. So let's do that, man. I promise you it's going to be amazing teaching tomorrow at 2 p.m. AZ time zone. Remember, it's Cash App $KG Bay. If you don't have Cash App, it's PayPal. PayPal.me/Ibna, IBNA, LBay7. And if you got $5, fine. You can give whatever you want. But I promise you, you do not want to miss this lecture. It's going to be fire. And if you want the document, a $20 donation, I will give you the document we're going to lecture over, and I'll give you my book for you can research it. It's The Divine Creed of Moorish Islam. The Divine Creed of Moorish Islam. You have your choice, either that one or my book, The Esoteric Science of the Fez. You have a choice, either one of those. You make your choice. If you donate $20, I might just give it all to you because I can. I'll give you all 3 because I want people to have a literature. But I want you to at least feel it's worth something to you. When people give you everything, it ain't worth nothing. Islam? So we good? Let's do our Moorish American prayer. I think Alonzo traveled. I don't know if Alonzo can do our benediction. Okay, let's do our Moorish American prayer. Let's get our benediction, man. Everybody, we'll be out of here, man.
Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Shalom Aleichem. Ayah Sha'ayah. Peace, 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 peace.
Peace, 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 peace.
Islam.
May the benediction of Allah be upon thee and thine always, as thou didst strive to be a credit to Allah. Make haste to bestow thine acts of love upon thy brethren, and do the best to shun thine evil. Remember to take supple of the breath of knowledge, wisdom, fortitude, charity, love, and all standing, that you might nourish the souls of men. Let truth be the shield in the manifest battle of falsehood. Know that Moors need not to take the lock to the gates of paradise by means of petty or criminal death, or behold, the key to salvation already rests within thine own hands. And yet, even though a portion of our nature is weakness, instability, and inconsistency, there still is the greater part of our nature that is divine. May Allah protect thee, hide thee, preserve thee, lengthen thy age, and give thee everlasting peace. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Allah, Ya Muhammad, Islam, okay?
Ashe.
Peace.
Peace,
I want to
peace,
say
peace.
also, for those that are listening, don't understand when we say or Yamu Hamid. So Allah in Arabic is the truth, and Yamu Hamid is protected. These are one of the 92 of the 99 attributes of Allah. So we, as the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple in school, stand as truth protected. So we say Allah Yamu Hamid, that is the truth, which is being protected. I have collective consciousness and what we call this brotherhood and sisterhood here, so we invite y'all to come be a part of this. Truth, because the truth has no sides.
Islam, noble. Islam, Alonzo. Islam. Peace, 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 nobles. I see y'all tomorrow for morning workout.
Yep.
And then we see y'all in class tomorrow, man. Peace and love.
Peace
Peace
and
and
love.
love.
Peace and love. Peace. Yep. Gratitude for everybody being here. Peace and love.